Previously on Emmasaurus. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Emily, and we have made a ton of progress in the Lego City this week. I am honestly shocked at how far we've come in here because last week we had nothing. Like, nothing was really placed where I wanted it to be. Really, the big change last week was figuring out how tall we wanted the different layers in the city to be. Because if you're new here, I used to have a different Lego City. It was still in here, same, a lot of it's still kind of the same as of now, but everything's kind of changing. But I didn't like it. I didn't like the layout. I thought it looked too flat and boring, and it just wasn't good. And also, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys weren't really into it either, which is fair. So we wanted to switch it up. And the main thing that we wanted to do with it is just add more of a vertical component to the city and kind of start in the back and then work down. So like, as you can see right now, some of the modulars are started to be elevated, but we'll get into that later in this video, so stick around. This here is actually the third video in this whole series where I'm redoing my Lego City completely. In the first video, I basically just destroyed everything, and that was really awesome and exhilarating and fun, but also kind of scary. And then in the second video, I started to get a better feel for how tall I wanted the modulars in the city and the different elevation aspects. And now, finally, I have the boards, I have the beams supporting the boards, and things are elevated. Plus, all of the modulars are placed relatively where I will want them to be. Obviously, it's a Lego City. I'll probably change things up as time goes along, but for now, the modulars are placed in the downtown area, and I am so excited to show you what that's starting to look like. Building a Lego City is still such a new thing for me, but I'm learning every day and trying to get better and better each time I destroy and then rebuild my city. And each time I start over with the city, I try to do something new. So this time it's been a lot more woodworking and carpenter work, I guess you could say, going to Home Depot, getting the planks of wood, getting the beams to support them, getting little attachments that are actually very cool. You can turn the bottom of them to adjust the height just slightly. It's plus or minus an inch, but that's all you need when dealing with Lego. Obviously, it would be really difficult to get the planks to line up perfectly with Lego math, so these little attachments have been a game changer. And even though we're still really just getting started with it, we've already made a huge mistake in here that we will get into in a bit. Kind of embarrassed about it because it's kind of dumb, but we can fix it later. It's totally fine. We'll figure it out as we go, but yeah, I'll definitely show you what we just destroyed later on in this video as well. Anyways, I'm just really excited to show you how much progress we've made this week, so thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being here. Please do consider subscribing down below if you enjoy Lego City content. I will be working on this for probably forever, but probably more so once a week over the next few months or so, so definitely stick around. Here we have downtown Ladybird, and everything here has changed since the last video. We added in all of the modulars, the elevation. Last time we had some things elevated, but it was just on these big boxes from IKEA. Now we actually have wooden beams supporting the modulars, so it's a lot more sturdy, a lot more practical. So far, we've only elevated 2 of the sections in here, this area here, as well as this here. You can kind of see that it's elevated by 3 or 4 inches. We have a lot more platforms over here that we still need to add the table legs to, mainly in that area back there, as well as this whole middle section, because that won't be that low in the long run. We're just still getting around to it. But really, I just wanted to show you where we are at so far, because it's really starting to take form. So even though there's still a long way to go in terms of elevating all the different areas in the city, we've made a ton of progress this week. So for the modulars on top here, we had to make sure that they made sense, right? So down here, we have the fire station and a corner garage, and those wouldn't make sense on the top because there's no roads, and you can't have a fire station with a fire truck and a corner garage with all these cars coming in and out without a road in front. That just didn't make any sense. So that's why those are placed down here. But on top, the shopping district, the police station, Ladybird, our giant Daily Bugle building that we've, rebranded as Ladybird Tower. They just have such prominent features, and they're some of my favorite modulars, so I figured they would make sense up there. Plus, I just really like looking at them. And then over there, that platform, it's gonna be elevated a lot more. It'll be 2 inches lower. Oh gosh, keep breaking things. It'll be elevated to be 2 inches lower than this top platform here, so that we can kind of have a San Francisco vibe going on. The 2 townhouses next to each other just look really nice, and I would love to get 3 or 4 more of that building and just swap out the colors, but that's a lot of money, so maybe one day, maybe not. But then next to the blue townhouses, we have the bookshop, another townhouse, and then the sanctum. The sanctum is a corner modular, so I figured it would make a lot of sense on the corner there. Plus, with the Daily Bugle up there, I just figured, you know what? We have to keep our marvel together. Right now, this one here is the highest elevation in the city, and then this will be right below it. But then we're gonna have it go up even higher to have the 90th anniversary castle like right on the top of a hill over here. It's gonna look so good. So yeah, this whole back wall of the city is gonna be so much higher up, and it'll kind of like fall down in elevation. So I'm just really excited to finally have that vertical component in here. That being said, I have no idea what that's gonna do to Disney World, but I don't like Disney World. Like just look at it. It's a giant mess. I don't like it. I love all the sets in it, but it just doesn't make sense. So we're gonna just redo all of it, and I am thrilled with that. I am ready for a change. So if you have any ideas on how to make it make sense with like the castle up there, kind of like leading down into an amusement park or something, please let me know, because I have no idea how that's gonna work right now. But anyways, let's just focus on downtown Ladybird for now. So this top one here, the beams we measured to be 10 inches. And then again, these little things here, you can adjust like plus or minus an inch. You can turn the bottom so that it just works better. And also, fun fact, you guys, these IKEA tables do bow a little bit in the middle, like just from weight, you know, because there's like table legs on either side. It'll start to bend a little bit in the middle. So these are so nice to kind of prevent that from happening, or rather like prevent the illusion of the tables bending. We definitely cheaped out a bit when we bought these for ourselves. So I definitely recommend, if you're looking for something like this, spend the money. It is worth it, because we might just go back and buy something better anyways. So yeah, this is 10 inches. This will be 8 inches. So this will be elevated pretty much to here. So it won't be as drastic, which is kind of nice though, because there's a lot of space in between here, and I don't want any wood beams showing. So it'll be something like that. I'm doing this one-handed, so I hope this doesn't break. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you can kind of see what that'll look like. We'll have some bricks behind it. It'll make sense. For this little patio area over here, we're gonna modify it so that they can walk smoothly between there and there. I'm gonna put this down now before I break it. So yeah, that elevation that we're doing for these wooden platforms here will extend for this one as well as that one. And I think I said 8 inch earlier. It might actually be 5 inches. There's a lot of measurements, so I keep getting them confused. But yeah, I think this will actually be elevated by 5 inches. That one over there is 8 inches. This one is 10 inches. And this is so far 0. But I guess let's talk about this, because we messed this up big time. One of the major perks of having all of the space under your city from elevating it is so that you can have a train. And the spacing worked out perfectly. I've kind of checked the spacing for the train track underneath, so it'll definitely work. But the issue is that it works well here. It'll work well there, but it won't work here. A train will not fit under this. We did not think about that. We knew we wanted a train, but we didn't think about like whether it would fit under it, which I know is kind of silly, but yeah, just didn't cross our minds. Like I said earlier, we are definitely not planners, and we just didn't measure it out. We didn't think about the train before cutting everything and buying all the wood. But lucky for us, actually, they make these same ones, but longer. I think it's like 6 or 8 inch long instead of like, what, 4 inches? So that should elevate us enough. And if not, we'll just get some more wooden beams kind of like that and just elevate it more. But you know, it kind of works out well elevating this up a little bit more, because that doesn't really matter. In the long run, I just want a large gray wall kind of separating this area from this area. And how the river is going to make sense, you kind of see what we started there, is like a sewage kind of drain. And so the water will be like under the city, you know, in quotes, because like obviously we're not going to like tile through a whole river underneath, but it'll create the illusion of like an underground river, a sewage kind of thing. But the sewage isn't going to be dirty water, obviously, because there's people having fun in the water. They're swimming, they're laughing. We don't want them swimming in dirty water. So it'll be a fresh spring somehow coming out from under the city. So all of that's kind of the rough plan of what's going on here so far. But now let's talk about this downtown area, because we haven't really looked around too much yet. A few months ago, we did the rebrickable for the Sesame Street modular, and I love how it turned out. It's a little half base plate, so I figured it'd be perfect here, and I love looking at it, so I wanted it like right on the end. We have room for another half base plate here, as well as one more base plate in the middle. I don't know what to put there yet. Please give me your ideas. And then we have the brick bank here with the fire station. Now, once again, the fire station made sense on a road plate because the other areas don't have room for a road plate. So this needed to be on the bottom floor here. The Palace Cinema is just beautiful, so I wanted it kind of visible, especially like that palace sign. I just crawled into the middle area of the city to get a better look. So far for vehicles, the Mr. Machine is the only one here for obvious reasons. But then down there we have the Parisian restaurant. And then across the street we have the pet store, the bookstore, and then the 2 corner garages here. I still want to modify them into like a larger garage because so far it just looks like 2 of the same set. But these also had to be right on a road plate. It's a corner garage, cars, road, etc. But very similar to that kind of city block over here, we have room for a base plate here as well. And some ideas I had were the Lego Ideas treehouse, the haunted house. I don't think the carousel would fit, but that would be kind of cool to have like a little carousel back there. But please let me know your ideas on what to put back here. Maybe just more modulars. I don't know. There is a 2023 modular coming. Maybe it would fit there, but I just don't know what to do with that space yet. So now I guess it's time for future plans and what's coming next for the Lego City. So obviously we still need to elevate these areas and just do some woodworking, which is scary, but it just needs to get done. And then something I was kind of thinking, and let me know your thoughts on this too. The road kind of goes to the back, so we need to be very cautious about this field of view. I want something amazing right there. And what I was thinking was the Disney train station and having it be like maybe a park around it, having it be like a city center. And then the subway would maybe go below because there'll be a train underneath and the Disney train can go under the city, take them over to what will be a better version of Disney World one day. And I thought that could be a really fun idea, or maybe have Assembly Square, like the square area of Assembly Square, just be right in the middle there too. I am not sure. Please give me your ideas or feedback, suggestions. I just want it to look really nice looking back there, and I don't know what to do with the space. But anyways, definitely stay tuned for what's to come in this area, especially with the castle up on a giant hill in that area. It's gonna look so good, you guys. I am so excited to show you and just share my progress with you. I have never been this motivated to work on the Lego City before, but I feel like I'm finally getting a lot done. It's coming along really nicely, so definitely stick around. Please do consider subscribing down below if you've enjoyed this city update and you want to see more. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.